Have you ever walked into a room and just instantly felt the mood? Like without anyone saying a single word, you just knew if people were happy or tense or sad. Or maybe, and this is a big one, you've had a friend vent to you, and then after they left, you felt just completely drained, like you were carrying their stress as if it was your own. It sounds a little strange, right? But what if I told you this isn't just you being too sensitive? What if it's a sign of a hidden psychological archetype that's quietly running your entire life? Stay with me on this because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you see your own emotions and, really, your relationships with everyone around you. So let's talk about this hidden archetype, the empath. Now, we all know what empathy is, or at least we think we do. We often confuse it with sympathy. See, sympathy is when you feel for someone. You see someone in a tough spot and you think, wow, that's too bad for them. But being an empath goes much, much deeper. An empath doesn't just feel for someone, they feel with them. You don't just see their sadness, you kind of absorb it. It's the difference between looking at a painting of a storm and actually being out in the rain. Your nervous system is so finely tuned that you begin to take on the emotional and sometimes even the physical sensations of others. For example, I once had a coworker who was extremely anxious about a presentation. We were just sitting in the same office space, not even talking, but I started feeling my heart race. My palms got sweaty. I felt this sense of impending doom. I thought, what is wrong with me today? And then he got up, gave his presentation, and afterward he said, "Phew, I thought I was gonna have a panic attack." And in that moment, it clicked. I wasn't having a bad day. I was experiencing his panic. Does that sound familiar? You're basically an emotional sponge. And this makes you an incredible friend, a world-class nurturer, extremely intuitive. You can read between the lines and know what people need before they do. But it also means you get easily overwhelmed in crowds, you need a lot of alone time to recharge, and you've probably been told you're too sensitive your whole life. It's like your emotional volume knob is permanently stuck at 11. But here's where it gets absolutely fascinating. This isn't just a personality type. There is remarkable science that proves this is happening inside your brain on a biological level. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. Neuroscientists have discovered something called mirror neurons. Think of them as the brain's Wi-Fi. They allow us to mirror the actions and emotions of others. When you see someone smile, for instance, your mirror neurons for smiling fire up, creating that feeling of happiness inside you. The same thing happens when you see someone in pain. There was this groundbreaking study that proved this in the most direct way possible. Researchers had volunteers receive a mild, painful electric shock to their hand. And as you'd expect, the pain centers in their brain just lit up on the fMRI scan. But then came the shocking part. No pun intended. The volunteers were then asked to simply watch a loved one receive the same shock. And incredibly, this is the wild part, the exact same pain centers in the observer's brain lit up. They weren't being touched, but their brain was creating a slightly weaker version of the pain their loved one was feeling. The phrase, "I feel your pain," is not a metaphor, it's a neurological reality. For empaths, it's believed these mirror neuron systems are hyper-responsive. They are working overtime. So when you're around someone who is anxious or depressed, your brain is literally mirroring that state, making you feel it as your own. You have a superpower, but it's a superpower that can drain your battery faster than anything else. So if your brain is built to do this, how do you stop from being in a constant state of emotional overload? What happens when this superpower starts to feel more like a curse? But that's not even the crazy part. The real danger for empaths isn't just feeling drained, it's something called empathy burnout. This is where you absorb so much external stress that your own system just short circuits. You become chronically fatigued, anxious, or even resentful. And this often happens because empaths are natural targets for what we can call energy vampires. People who, consciously or not, just drain your emotional energy. You know the type, the friend who only calls to complain, the family member who thrives on drama, that coworker who vents but never ever listens. For them, you're a perfect outlet. But for you, each interaction is like a leak in your energy tank. Because you feel their distress so deeply, you feel responsible for fixing it. But you can't, and trying to, that is what leads directly to burnout. So what's the solution? It's not to build a giant wall and shut everyone out. The key is to build a fence with a gate. The solution is boundaries. And for an empath, the most important boundary is learning to ask one simple question in any given moment. Is this feeling mine or is it theirs? The next time you feel a sudden wave of anxiety or sadness, just pause, ask the question. If you realize the feeling isn't yours, you can consciously choose not to absorb it. You can picture it as a cloud of smoke that belongs to someone else. You see it, you acknowledge it, but you don't have to breathe it into your own lungs. This simple act of awareness is the most powerful tool an empath has. It's the difference between drowning in the ocean and learning how to surf the waves. So to bring it all together, you're not too sensitive. You might just be a hardwired empath. Your brain literally mirrors the feelings of others, which is both a gift and a challenge. And the ultimate key to thriving isn't to feel less, but to manage your energy by consciously setting emotional boundaries. It's a journey of self-discovery, and awareness is always the first step. So here's a question for you to reflect on. What's one situation you realized you were feeling someone else's emotions more deeply than your own? Thinking about that might just reveal a lot. If this resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd hit that like button and subscribe for more. It really helps. Thank you so much for your time today, and take good care of your energy.